subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Friends, now the question says the Reserve Bank of India has enhanced the loan limit from 50 lakh to rupees dash lakh per borrower against the pledge or hypothecation of agriculture produce. RBI has enhanced the loan limit from 50 lakh to dash lakh per borrower against the pledge or hypothecation of agriculture produce. So which is backed by our national warehouse receipts. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 50 lakh, B 75 lakh, C 100 lakh, D 85 lakh, in any of these. Friends, the Reserve Bank of India has recently enhanced the loan limit for each borrower against this pledge or hypothecation of their agriculture produces. So which is backed by national warehouse receipts. So these receipts issued by our warehouse registered. That is the WTRA. We'll call it as this warehouse department is there now. The department name is Warehouse Development Regulatory Authority, WTRA. So here the answer is the new limit, it is 75 lakh. Friends, RBI has enhanced the loan limit 50 lakh to 75 lakh per borrower against this pledge or hypothecation of agriculture produces. Now we'll see the second question. The question says RBI has increased the limit of ways and means advances, WMA. This abbreviation you need to remember, ways and means advances for the state government and UTs. So the increased limit, the new enhanced limit they are asking. We'll see the options. Options are A 32,225 crores, B 45,010 crores, and C 37,010 crores, D 47,010 crores. Now we'll see the right answer. The right answer is option D, it is 47,010 crores. Friends, RBI has recently increased the limit of for this ways and means advances for state government. So to run state government, so state government borrowing from Reserve Bank of India. No? So in that context, this ways and means advances scheme. So the RBI has increased that limit. It is earlier it was 32,225 crores. It is fixed in February 2016. Now they recently after pandemic they increased to 47,010 crores. So based on recommendation of a committee. So one committee is recommended, that committee headed by Sri Sudhir Srivastava. So you need to remember this committee name also, the committee committee head also, that committee head, the ways and means committee head, his name is Sri Sudhir Srivastava. So this represents an increase are about to around 46%. So it is increased about to 46%. So you remember this ways and means for state governments advances. So the state government borrowing from RBI. So that limit they can borrow up to this 47,000 crores. 47,010 crores. 47,47010. Friends, now next question says who has topped the fourth list of India's 10 richest billionaires for the year 2021? Now we'll see the options here. Options are A Mukesh Ambani, B Shiv Nadar, C Gautam Adani, and D Uday Kotak, in none of this. Friends, Reliance Industries, our Mukesh Ambani, he has achieved the top spot in the Forbes list of this India's top 10 richest billionaires for the year 2021. So his total net worth of Mukesh Ambani, it is around 84.5 billion US dollars. It is 84.5 billion US dollars. That's why he became the he ranked at 10th position. So he became the 10th position, which total net worth around 84.5 billion US dollars. So Reliance Industries chairman Mukesh Ambani has topped the Forbes list of top 10 richest billionaires for the year 2021. Now next question says what is the GDP growth projection rate of India for the fiscal year 21-22 as per RBI? Friends, you remember as per RBI, not as per other organization. So as per RBI, GDP growth projection rate for the India for the fiscal year 21-22. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 9%, B 9.5%, C 10%, D 10.5%, in none of this. Friends, recently IMF also given their projection rate for economic growth in India. So they have given 6.9% for 2023 and 12.5% 2022. Now we'll see the RBI. The RBI how much it has given. Now the right answer is option D. It is 10.5%. Friends, the IMF given for 2021 it is 12.5, but our RBI given only 10.5%. So you just remember 10.5. So the GDP growth of India, it is projected at 10.5% in the financial year 21-22. Now moving on to next question. The question says, to measure the extent of financial inclusion in the country, Reserve Bank of India annually publishing the Financial Inclusion Index, FI index we'll call it as. So to measure the extent of financial inclusion in the country, RBI annually publishing this Financial Inclusion Index. So this index will be published in the month of. So they are asking in which month annually RBI publishing this index, this Financial Inclusion Index. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. August month, B. June, C. July, D. April, in none of this. Friends, every year that Reserve Bank of India is announcing that they periodically publishing this Financial Inclusion Index, that is FI index, it is annually in the month of July. So option C is the right answer for this question. So in the month of July for the financial year ending of previous March. So the Financial Inclusion Index annually in July for the financial year ending previous March. Now we'll see the next question. The question says, name the senior most deputy governor of RBI who has retired from his services recently. So recently our senior most of deputy governor of RBI retired now. So they are asking who is that personality. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. S.S. Mundro, B. B.P. Kanungo, C. Usha Thorat, D. M.K. Jain, in none of these. Friends, the right answer is option B. It is B.P. Kanungo. B.P. Kanungo is the most senior deputy governor of RBI. So recently he retired from his services. Now next question says, name the celebrity who has been roped in as brand ambassador by the Digit Insurance. Friends, you might have seen many ads recently, publicity regarding this Digit Insurance. So this Digit Insurance, who is a celebrity for this company. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Virat Kohli, B. Rahul Dravid, C. KL Rahul, D. Rohit Sharma, in none of this. Friends, here asking that celebrity, it is related to cricket. So now we'll see right answer for this question. The right answer is option A. It is Virat Kohli. Friends, this Digit Insurance, it is a Bangalore based non-life insurance company. So this company has roped a veteran cricketer Virat Kohli as their brand ambassador. So Virat Kohli is brand ambassador for Digit Insurance, a non-life insurance company. It is Bangalore based company, this Digit Insurance. Now moving on to next question. The question says, which bank in India has inked a loan agreement with Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JBIC, to extend loans to supply chain of Japanese automobile industry? Friends, which bank in India? So our Indian bank is supporting to Japan Bank to extend loans to supply chain of Japanese automobile industry. So that bank name they are asking. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Bank of Baroda, B. State Bank of India, C. Punjab National Bank, D. Canara Bank, and others. Friends, all these are public sector banks. So all these are government supported banks. So now we have to pick right answer. So this India's largest lender, of course, State Bank of India. So option B is the right answer. So our India's largest lender, State Bank of India, has raised $1 billion from Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JBIC, to extend loans to supply chain of Japanese automobile industry in India. So the main concept is to extend loans to supply chain of Japanese automobile industry in India. So State Bank of India is raised this $1 billion from Japan Bank for International Cooperation, JPIC. So this SBI is raising funds from this JPIC, Japan Bank for International Cooperation. Now the next question says, name the newly appointed Economic Affairs Secretary of India. Name the newly appointed Economic Affairs Secretary of India. Now we'll see the options. Options are A. T.V. Somanathan, B. Tarun Bajaj, C. T.K. Pandey, D. Krishnamurthy Subramanian, in none of these. Friends, recently appointed Tarun Bajaj. So Tarun Bajaj is newly appointed as Economic Affairs Secretary of India. So here option B, it is the right answer, Tarun Bajaj. Now next question says, What is the amount of capital infusion was announced by the Government of India for banks in the fiscal year 2021? So every public sector bank backed by government by infusing capital, no? So here they're asking what is the amount of capital infusion was announced by Government of India for the banks in the year 21-22. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 20,000 crores, B 25,000 crores, C 15,000 crores, D 10,000 crores. Friends, the central government has announced to infuse around 14,500 crores in 4 state-owned lenders, namely Central Bank of India and Indian Overseas Bank and Bank of India and UCO Bank in the year 2021 by issuing non-interest bearing bonds to these banks. So this infusion will complete the government's total capital infusion of 20,000 crores in public sector banks for the current fiscal year 2021. So the right answer is option A. It is right answer. Actually, Government of India has announced to infuse 14,500 crores in 4 state-owned lenders. So when it comes to this infusion, will complete the government's total capital infusion. It is 20,000 crores in public sector banks for the fiscal year 2021. So that 4 banks name I repeat once again, that Central Bank of India and Indian Overseas Bank, Bank of India and UCO Bank. So these 4 banks benefiting from government by infusing this capital infusion.
Now the question says the National Housing Bank NHB has launched rupees how much for Special Refinance Facility 2021. We'll call it as in short form SRF, Special Refinance Facility. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 10,000 crores, B 15,000 crores, C 12,000 crores, D 11,000 crores in none of these. Friends, the facility, this special refinance facility was launched to provide short-term refinance support to housing finance companies. In India, there are many housing finance companies, DHL, so like that many companies are there. So that housing finance, they are giving finance to only for housing purposes. So this facility was launched to provide short-term refinance support to housing finance companies, HFCs, and also other eligibility primary lending institutions. Other eligibility, we will call it as PLIs, primary lending institutions. So for this National Housing Bank is launched this facility, Special Refinance Facility 2021. They allotted rupees 10,000 crores. So this 10,000 rupees crores they are providing to they are giving refinance to housing finance companies and also PLIs, primary lending institutions. Now when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of its National Housing Bank, it is New Delhi, and present MD of this National Housing Bank, his name is Sarada Kumar Hota. Sarada Kumar Hota is the present MD of this National Housing Bank. So it is a wing of RBI. So it is National Housing Bank also works under Reserve Bank of India. Now moving on, next question. The question says which bank and its subsidiaries has recently acquired 12.99% of stake in the Max Life Insurance Company to become its co-promoters. So which bank and its subsidiaries has recently acquired, so one bank recently acquired 12.99% of stake in Max Life Insurance Company to become its co-promoters. So they are asking that bank name. Now we'll see the options. Options are A State Bank of India, B Axis Bank, C HDFC Bank, D Kotak Mahindra Bank, in none of these. Friends, here the right answer is option B, it is Axis Bank. Yes, Axis Bank and their subsidiaries has recently acquired 12.99% stake in this Max Life Insurance Company. So this private sector lender is Axis Bank, and along with their subsidiaries Axel Capital and Axis Securities, these two companies are their subsidiary companies. What's that name? Axis Capital and Axis Securities. Sorry friends, this Axis Capital and Axis Securities have completed their acquisition of this 12.99% stake of this in Max Life Insurance Company. So these Axis company, overall this Axis company acquired this Max Life Insurance Company. So here the answer is Axis Bank, it is option B. Now the next question says Dash is an electronic marketplace launched by government for the benefit of aqua farmers and buyers. So recently government of India has launched one benefit for aqua farmers and their buyers. One marketplace they launched. So they're asking that electronic marketplace, that place name they're asking. We'll see the options. Options are EMSATA, B Enam, C eSanta, D eGout Santa. In none of these. Friends, the Union Minister of Commerce and Industry, already know our Commerce Ministry Minister Piyush Goyal. Yes, Piyush Goyal Saab inaugurated eSanta. It is option C. It is right answer. eSanta. So as I told in question itself, eSanta, it is an electronic marketplace launched by government for the benefit of aqua farmers and buyers. So this connecting and so this eSanta, it is an electronic marketplace, as I told, to provide a platform for connecting aqua farmers and buyers. This eSanta stands for Electronic Solution for Augmenting NACSA Farmers Trade in Aquaculture. So this is the abbreviation of this eSanta. I repeat once again, eSanta, it is abbreviation stands for Electronic Solution for Augmenting NACSA Farmers Trade in Aquaculture. So that is the answer for this question. It is eSanta. It is an electronic marketplace, you remember. And our present in the starting part of for this question is, you remember our Union Minister for Commerce and Industry, minister name is Piyush Goyal Saab. Piyush Goyal. Now moving on, next question. The question says, to enhance the income of the farmers, the Union Ministry of Agriculture has inked an MOU with which global tech giant to implement a pilot project in 100 villages. Friend, to enhance the income of farmers, our government of India, that is Ministry of Agriculture, has inked with one global tech giant company to implement a pilot project in 100 villages in India. We'll see the options. Options are A. Google India, B. TCS, C. Facebook, D. Microsoft India. In none of this. Friends, they told it is tech giant. Obviously, it is option D. It is Microsoft India. So the Union Ministry of Agriculture has inked a memorandum of understanding with Microsoft India. So for a pilot project aimed at betterment of farmers in the selected 100 villages out of 6 states. See, they are taking to enhance the income of the farmers. This government of India and Microsoft India both made one MOU. So their ultimate dream, this project aim is to enhance the income of the farmers and to betterment of the farmers livelihood. So this pilot project they are going to implement in 100 villages in India out of 6 states. So overall in 6 states they have taken 100 villages. So by creating a vibrant digital agro ecosystem in the country. The main motto is to enhance the income of the farmers and by creating a vibrant digital agro ecosystem in the country. The right answer is option D. It is Microsoft India. So that tech giant name is Microsoft India. Now the question says, who has launched a national digital repository on health and nutrition that is called Poshan Gyan? And simply that Poshan Gyan, it is a digital repository on health and nutrition. So this national digital scheme launched by which ministry? They are asking. We'll see the options. Options are A. Ministry of Ayush, B. Ministry of Finance, C. Niti Aayog, D. RBI. In none of these. Friends, it is not launched by a ministry. It is our body. It is Niti Aayog. So Niti Aayog has launched. It is a national digital repository on health and nutrition. So due to COVID-19, this Niti Aayog taken in an initiative to maintain this health and nutrition digitalization. So in this scheme, they have launched this Poshan Gyan. It is a national level digital repository on health and nutrition. So it is launched by whom? Launched by Niti Aayog. Now we'll see next question. The question says, as per the Japanese brokerage company Nomura, so what is the estimated GDP growth rate of India in the financial year 21-22? Friends, simply they are asking Nomura. So Nomura, it is a Japanese brokerage company now. So what they are expecting GDP growth rate of India? We'll see the options. Options are A 12.5%, B 12.6%, C 11.5%, D 10.6%. In none of this. Friends, they are asking for the financial year 21-22. So it is right answer is option B. It is 12.6%. Friends, previously they were estimated 13.5% for the year 21-22 financial year, but now after that they revised their GDP forecast of India. It is 12.6%. So they revised. So and during day by day rising corona cases and higher inflation rate also they are considered. So that's why they reduced 12.6%. Earlier they were estimated 13.5%. Friends, according to Nomura, it is they are expecting 2022. It is they are expecting 7%. So for the financial year 22-23, they are expecting 7%. At present, they are expecting 12.6% only. So it is answer is the right answer is option B, 12.6%. So as per Japanese brokerage company Nomura, so that Nomura is expecting our India's GDP growth rate for the financial year 21-22. It is 12.6%. Well friends, now moving on next question. The question says, who represented India at the 1/3 meeting of the Development Committee of World Bank IMF? Friends, I repeat once again question. Who represented India at 103rd meeting of Development Committee of World Bank IMF? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Home Secretary, B. Finance Secretary, C. Finance Minister, D. Prime Minister. Friends, our Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. So, right answer is option C. It is Finance Minister. Friends, Finance Minister has participated in this 103rd meeting of the Development Committee plenary. So, it is over via video conference of this World Bank and IMF. So this is the 103rd meeting of the Development Committee of the World Bank and IMF. So from India, our Finance Ministry has participated in this meeting over video conference. That is like virtual mode. In virtual mode, our Finance Minister participated in this meeting. Now next question says, what is the name of an initiative launched by PNB, Punjab National Bank, in which customers themselves can make every transaction undertaken by the branch of the bank? Friends, what is the name of initiative taken by our PNB in which customers themselves can make every transaction undertaken by the branch of the branch? Means customers, they can do themselves for initiating a transaction like cash withdrawing, cash depositing, check collection, check clearing, ATM request giving and request accepting. So all these can do themselves in branch premises. So they are asking what is that name, initiate name. We'll see the options first. Options are A. PNB at Easy, B. PNB at Cust, C. PNB at Online, D. PNB Self. In and of this. Friends, the initiative it is called as PNB Easy. So PNB Easy, it is an customer centric. Customers themselves can make every transaction undertaken by the branch of the bank. So what are the transaction performing by branch staff in the branch? The same transaction customers themselves can make in branch premises. So the initiative is available from opening of a savings account and to availing loans without visiting the branch or help from the bank employees. Friends, this initiative they are calling as PNB Easy. So this question is important. You remember PNB Easy. It is an customers themselves can make every transaction undertaken by the branch. So this is launched by our Punjab National Bank, a public sector of Punjab National Bank. Friends, when it comes to starting part of this question, the headquarters of PNB, it is New Delhi, and present MD and CEO of PNB, Sri S.S. Mallikarjun Raoji. So he is earlier ED of Syndicate Bank. Now when it comes to PNB tagline, it is the name you can bank upon. The name you can bank upon, it is a tagline of PNB. Friends, now next question says, which organization partnered with Adani Group to set up a data center in Chennai and fulfillment center in Mumbai? Friends, which organization partnered with Adani Group? So which organization partnered with Adani Group to set up a data center in Chennai as well as a fulfillment center in Mumbai? We'll see the options. Options are A. Walmart, B. Snapdeal, C. Amazon, D. Flipkart. In of this. Friends, the right answer is option D. Flipkart. So Flipkart partnered with Adani Group to set up a data center in Chennai as well as in Mumbai. That is, in Mumbai they are calling as fulfillment center, and in Chennai they are calling as data center. So Flipkart has partnered with Adani Group. Now next question says, recently with whom Ugrow Capital Fintech firm? That fintech company name is Ugrow Capital Fintech firm. So has partnered to launch credit cards for small businesses and MSMEs in India. So recently with whom Ugrow Capital Fintech firm partnered to launch credit cards for small businesses and MSMEs in India. This is options. Options are A. SBM Bank India, B. SRM Bank India, C. SDM Bank India, D. None of these. Friends, the right answer is option A. It is SBM Bank India. So it is State Bank of Mauritius. So it is a bank in Mauritius. So this bank has partnered with this Ugrow Capital Fintech company to launch credit cards for small businesses like street vendors or small companies, and also for MSMEs in India. This SBM, it is the first foreign bank in India to operate a new Indian bank. So this is SBM Bank in India. It is a Mauritius based bank. So it has license as commercial bank. So this bank has partnered with the Ugrow Capital Fintech firm and to launch this credit cards support for credit. They are going to launch credit cards to small businesses and MSME sectors in India, MSME business companies in India. Friends, now the question says, RBI has approved the appointment of Atanu Chakrabarti as the part-time chairman of which bank recently? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. HDFC Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. State Bank of India, D. Punjab National Bank. In none of this. Friends, Reserve Bank of India recently has approved the appointment of Atanu Chakrabarti as the part-time chairman of HDFC Bank. So he was former Economic Affairs Secretary also. So now Reserve Bank of India has approved the appointment of Atanu Chakrabarti as the part-time chairman and additional independent director of this private sector lender HDFC Bank. So right answer is option A. It is right answer. So HDFC Bank. So RBI has approved the appointment of Atanu Chakrabarti as the part-time chairman of HDFC Bank. Now next question says, which Indian financial body has announced to set up Regulations Review Authority RRA 2.0 from 1st May 2021 for 1 year? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. SEBI, B. RBI, C. IRDAI, D. NABARD. In none of these. Friends, they are asking which Indian financial body. So of course answer is option B. It is RBI. Friends, RBI will set up a new regulations review authority. So they are reviewing these regulations periodically. So that they are calling as the RBI set up a new regulations review authority, that is RRA 2.0 from 1st May 2021. So friends, this RRA will be set up for a period of 1 year, and unless the timeline is extended by RBI. And also Mr. Rajeshwar Rao is our Deputy Governor of RBI. So he will be headed of this Regulations Review Authority 2.0. So friends, you need to remember here, every year they are going to review these regulations. So that name is Regulations Review Authority. That body name is. So RBI going to set up this one first from 1st May 2021 onwards. So it will be every year. And Mr. Rajeshwar Rao is the Deputy Governor of RBI. He will be headed of this Regulations Review Authority. So the right answer is option B. It is RBI. Now moving forward, the next question says, Reserve Bank of India has constituted a 6-member panel to review the working of asset reconstruction companies, ARCs. So who is the head of this panel? The question is, who is the head of this asset reconstruction companies panel head? Now we'll see the options. Options are A. Harshakumar Banwala, B. N.C. Muniappa, C. Sudarshan Sen, D. N.S. Swaminathan. In none of this. Friends, Reserve Bank of India has constituted a 6-member panel to carry out comprehensive review of this working of asset reconstruction companies, ARCs, so in the financial sector ecosystem. So this panel will be headed by our former ED of RBI, a former Executive Director of RBI, Sudarshan Sen. So option C, it is right answer for this question. So RBI constituted a 6-member panel to review the working of asset reconstruction companies. So for this, Sudarshan Sen, he is the head of this panel, this 6 members panel. So it is Sudarshan Sen. Earlier he was ED of our Reserve Bank of India. Now next question says, Murali M. Natarajan has been reappointed as MD and CEO of which bank? Murali M. Natarajan has been reappointed as MD and CEO of which bank? We'll see the options, friends. Options are A. DCB Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. Axis Bank, D. Kotak Mahindra Bank. In none of this. Friends, Reserve Bank of India has approved the reappointment of Murali M. Natarajan as MD and CEO of our private sector bank. It is a DCB Bank. It is DCB Bank for the period of 1 year. So RBI reappointed Murali M. Natarajan for 1 year period. They extended his period for 1 year. So it is he is reappointed as MD and CEO of this DCB Bank. So option A, it is right answer. Option A, what is the answer? Is a DCB Bank. So DCB Bank is the right answer for this question. Next question says, the Pay by Bank app. The Pay by Bank app, it is app name. So it has been launched by which bank in partnership with MasterCard? We'll see the options. Options are A. DCB Bank, B. ICICI Bank, C. RBL Bank, D. Kotak Mahindra Bank. In none of this. Friends, the Mumbai based private sector bank, it is RBL Bank. So RBL Bank has partnered with this MasterCard to launch a mobile app called this Pay by Bank app. That app name is Pay by Bank. So it is launched by RBL Bank. It is Mumbai based public sector bank, private sector bank. Now next question says, how much amount has been allocated to the Startup India Seed Fund scheme? How much amount has been allocated to Startup India Seed Fund scheme? Friends, we'll see the options. Options are A. 900 crores, B. 945 crores, C. 1000 crores, D. 1200 crores. In none of this. Friends, our Union Minister Piyush Goyal has launched this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So in the month of April 19th. So this fund aims to provide financial assistance to startups. So mainly this fund aims to provide financial assistance to startup for proof of concept and prototype development and product trials, market entry and commercialization. So government has approved 945 crores. So option B, it is right answer. Government has approved 945 crore corpus for this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So which will be divided into next 4 years beginning from 1st April of this month onwards. So for providing seed funding to eligible startups through eligible incubators across India. So overall you need to remember this abbreviation also, SISFS, it is Startup India Seed Fund scheme. This scheme is launched by our Union Minister Piyush Goyal ji, and government has allocated for the next 4 years, it is 945 crore rupees. 945 crore rupees. It is the overall fund allocated to this Startup India Seed Fund scheme. So you need to remember this scheme why. So this scheme, the main aim is to provide financial assistance to startups. Financial assistance to startups. Now coming to next question, the question says, what is the projected GDP growth prediction rate of India for the financial 2022 by ICRA? By ICRA. We'll see the options. Options are A. 10 to 10%, B. 10 to 11%, C. 10 to 10.5%, D. 10 to 11.5%. In none of these. Friends, our domestic rating agency, it is ICRA. So ICRA is domestic, it is Indian based rating agency. So it has cut the growth estimation of India for the year 21-22 by 0.5%. So on the upper end. So and now experts that economy is they are saying economy to grow around 10 to 10.5% in the year 21-22. So as against 10% to 11% estimated in earlier projection. No, right answer is option C. It is 10 to 10.5% it is the right answer for this question. So now and that experts are expecting our economy to grow around 10 to 10.5% for the year 21 and 22. This prediction was projected by our ICRA, our domestic rating agency. It is ICRA. Earlier that ICRA expected 10 to 11%, but now they reduced 0.5%. So it is an upper end. So that's why it is became 10.5. So they are expecting 10 to 10.5 between. Now next question says Fitch Ratings has kept the sovereign ratings of India at dash in the financial 2022 with dash outlook. Friends, we'll see the options. Options are A, BBB negative growth and a negative outlook, B, BBB stable outlook, and C, BB negative and BB stable. Option E, it is none of these. Friends, our rating agency Fitch, so which has kept our sovereign rating of India, it is unchanged. So as earlier, it is BBB negative outlook. Option A, it is right answer. So in terms of sovereign rating, our S&P also, our Standard & Poor are currently also given BBB negative only. So same, and Fitch and our S&P both are given same rating, that is our sovereign rating, this BBB negative growth only, negative outlook only. So option A, it is right answer. Fitch and S&P given same sovereign rating to our country. Now the next question says, what is the revised GDP growth rate projection for India in financial 2022 by SBI Research? Earlier S&P, Fitch, now it is SBI. Now we'll see the options. Options are A 10.5%, B 11.4%, C 11%, D 10.4%. In none of this. Friends, State Bank of India, SBI, it is research has revised our India's GDP growth rate for the financial 21-22. So they are expecting 10.4%. So option D, it is right answer. So and India Ratings and Research, it is also IND-RA, it is so it is IND-RA also expecting same around 10.1% they are expecting. So SBI expecting 10.4%. So it is our GDP growth rate projection. So for this question, SBI expecting 10.4 and India Ratings and Research Agency IND-RA, it is expecting 10.1% only. Now next question says, RBI has released a show cause notice before cancelling license of fraud hit in which NBFC mutual fund industry, MFI. Sorry friends. Now this is the options. Options are A, Annapurna Microfinance Private Limited, B, Sambandh FinServe Private Limited, C, Arona FinService Private Limited, D, Bandhan Financial Services Private Limited. In none of this. Friends, Reserve Bank of India has recently released a show cause notice before cancelling the license of fraud hit in Sambandh Financial Private Limited. So option B, it is right answer. So this Sambandh Financial Private Limited, it is an NBFC MFI. So this Sambandh Financial Services Limited has lost its net worth below the regulatory minimum and its financial situation worsened, so beyond redemption over the recent months. So that is why RBI has released a show cause notice. So before cancelling license of this NBFC, so there might be a fraud hit in this financial services. So that is why RBI going to cancel license. So before that they have to give show cause. So that is why RBI has released a show cause. And also this Sambandh Finance Service Private Limited, so it is NBFC and it is mutual fund industry also. So this headquarters, it is Odisha based company, it is Odisha based NBFC Sambandh Finance Private Limited. Friends, now next question says, with which financial firm India Bulls Housing Finance Limited partnered to grant housing loans to home buyers at competitive rates? So which financial firm? Now we'll see the options. Options are A, LIC Housing Finance, B, GIC Housing Finance, C, HDFC Limited, D, Reliance Housing Finance Development Private Limited. E, none of this. Friends, the Indian Bulls Housing Finance Limited, we will call it as IBH in short form. So it has entered into a strategic co-lending partnership with HDFC Limited. So they have entered into a partnership to grant housing loans to home buyers at competitive rates. So under this partnership, so the funding ratio will be 80:20 ratio. So that is 80% of the loans will be with HDFC books and 20% of the loans with our India Bulls Housing Finance Limited. So that is why they both are strategic partnership happened between those companies and to grant housing loans to home buyers at competitive rates. Now when it comes to headquarters of this India Bulls, it is Mumbai only. It is Mumbai based India Bulls Housing Finance Limited. Now next question says LIC has appointed which organization to conduct its digital transactions? LIC has appointed which organization to conduct its digital transactions? Now it is options: A. Visa, B. Mastercard, C. PhonePe, D. Paytm. In none of this. Friends, our Life Insurance Corporation of India (LIC) has selected Paytm to conduct their digital transactions with an aim to enhance the digital payment ecosystem. So option D, it is right answer. So LIC has selected Paytm to conduct the digital transactions with an aim to enhance the digital payment ecosystem. So when it comes to strategy part of this LIC present chairman M.R. Kumar and Paytm CEO Vijay Shekhar Sharma. So LIC, of course, it is Mumbai based, and Paytm, it is Noida, it is UP based, Uttar Pradesh based payment bank company. This platform, digital transaction platform, PhonePe.
And if you haven't yet subscribed my channel, please subscribe my Involving YouTube channel and press the bell icon to get the latest notification to your mobile. Thanks for watching. Thank you. Jai Hind.